a few news articles. So this one I was very interested to read. Plutonium and in fact gold and all the elements heavier than iron are a big mystery because stars run by fusion. Almost everything in the universe is hydrogen and helium. They fuse the hydrogen and helium together and make other elements like carbon. But when they get to iron, they have reached the lowest energy state of a nucleus. So the elements heavier than iron are less stable than iron, and it's not clear how they could ever be produced. You have to add energy to pack more neutrons into iron to make higher elements, and that's not understood how that happens. The old explanation I was taught decades ago is that it happens in supernova explosions, but scientists have long wanted to get examples of freshly made plutonium, and they managed to get some from a meteorite that was found on the bottom of the ocean floor. So this appears to show that there's two mechanisms required to explain the development of heavy elements. One is the explosion of supernovas, and the other is the collision of neutron stars that create the extremely small amount of heavy elements in the universe. So the teachers union, the National Teachers Union, I think, in America is now calling for fully reopening schools in the fall, which I would love. Last I heard, City College is not planning to open in the fall fully, and I don't know why, but apparently a lot of people are still afraid to go to school. I think logic would dictate after you've got the vaccine, there's nothing to worry about, but that does not seem to be a popular opinion. I don't think there has been an official pronouncement yet, but what I understand is City College will open in the spring, but not in the fall. So anyway, we will find out. This one was pretty amazing. This company will offer to pay you $500 for a password to the payroll system at your company because they are trying to make a platform that enables people to verify their income. So they're trying to hack into every company to scrape the passwords, and they want your password to help them do that. It seems to me like this has got to violate the security policy of your company, and it seems to me like you would fire any employee that lets somebody else have their password. That's a fundamental rule. And they said in government agencies it's probably even illegal, but they've been doing it, paying people and claiming it's okay. It's very strange. And all the companies to which this is happening are horrified and didn't know it was happening. So I think Brian Krebs bringing this out may cause an end of this. This seems like a very strange thing to do. The founder of the company said, "We're making a new financial company and we will do what no one else would dare to do." And you could put it that way. This sounds greatly insane and probably illegal. So this is legal, unfortunately, although also very insane. So Elon Musk, this is the risk of Bitcoin and all cryptocurrencies. They're not held up by anything in particular, so they wildly jump up and down every day. And so they blame something. It's really like the popularity of a movie star. They say something, then they're less popular, then somebody says something, then suddenly they're more popular, and it just floats up and down. That's all this is. There's nothing holding it up. So it blows in the breeze. So every time Elon Musk tweets anything, it jumps up and down or appears on TV. So he invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, so it went up. That made Bitcoin seem serious. Then he made fun of Dogecoin on Saturday Night Live, so it went down. Now he said he was going to let you be able to buy Teslas with Bitcoin, so it went up. And today or yesterday he said, no, I guess you can't buy Teslas with Bitcoin anymore because I think Bitcoin makes too much pollution. So it went down. And this is, or it might be fair to say that it just makes random motions up and down, and all the financial reporters just make up reasons. But anyway, that's what a high risk investment does. It just blows up and down a lot. So if you were to buy it low and sell it high, you'd make a lot of money. But if you aren't lucky, you're most likely going to lose your money. So Bloomberg has reported that the Colonial Pipeline on the East Coast paid $5 million in ransom. Let's see, won't a greener Ethereum do okay? Okay, the first one, there is a talk about a greener Ethereum. They've not got that working yet. There certainly is a way to make a greener cryptocurrency. It's called Visa and MasterCard. You just have one central server and you don't make a million copies of every transaction. And there are cryptocurrency schemes that approach that, like Radix, one I like in Britain, where it picks a small number of machines to verify each transaction so it doesn't waste so much energy at all. And the closed ones, like a proof of authority Ethereum net, which I just wrote the projects for, which is, again, like Visa and MasterCard. Instead of having miners everywhere compete to solve the problem rapidly, you have certain chosen miners that are authorized to mine and nobody else. So they don't have to compete. Of course, that takes you back to this, what the original idea of Bitcoin was to get around. The original idea of Bitcoin is that you don't trust the government, you don't trust the banks, you don't trust anybody. You want a system where nobody trusts anybody, and you're willing to pay enormous amounts of computing power to have that. But if you were willing to actually trust some kind of central bank, that's what Ripple does, the number 3 cryptocurrency. It's just controlled by one company. It's not a distributed ledger. And that it's distributed, but it's not decentralized. Anyway, that's how you do it. And then you've got exactly the same thing as Visa and MasterCard, essentially. It's not clear what the advantage is. Of course, it's not clear what any of the advantage is here. But anyway, someone says, don't these cryptocurrencies trade 24/7, 365? Oh, yes, absolutely. The cryptocurrencies trade all the time. They do not have banking hours or holidays or anything. That's one issue. Stocks, yeah. So I think the same thing's true of commodities and derivatives. Yes, and the main thing is there's no way to get your money back if you lose it. There's no way to enforce any laws about mining, about manipulating the price or exchanges, and that's why people typically do pump and dump, which is what McAfee is charged with in prison. You tweet to make it go down, then you buy it, then you tweet the opposite to make it go up, then you sell it. That's why you can make lots of money if you can pump a market. And they're trying to prosecute John McAfee for that. In general, it's very hard to see how anyone could be prosecuted. But it's absolutely true that you can manipulate markets. Anyway, so Colonial Pipeline on the East Coast has been down for about a week, and it's messing up the whole gasoline supply in America. And now they have brought it back. They say it's okay. And they said they didn't pay the ransom, but now Bloomberg says they did pay the ransom. Now, I caution you, Bloomberg has a track record of just completely lying and falsifying security stories. I don't know how they're still in business. They just absolutely make up lies and publish them, and then don't retract them even when they're proven to be lies. So if you only see something on Bloomberg and nowhere else, it's highly suspect. However, it's fairly likely that they paid the ransom. Almost everybody hit with crypto lockers do pay the ransom. Yes, the NSA is involved, and the CIA is involved because this is national security, which is why these guys are probably in trouble. However, they're Russians, so they're protected by Putin. Now, they're probably not officially the U.S. government, but the way it works in Russia is they're privateers. Putin has a deal with Russian hackers, which is you can operate, and we will never extradite you, and we will even help protect you from foreign governments as long as you don't hack Russians, and you only hack foreigners. We will protect you, and in return, if we ask you for a favor, you will do it. So this is what privateers were in the naval wars a few centuries ago. The countries that didn't have enough navy would just let random people volunteer to fight on your behalf. You'd issue them a letter of marque, and then they would basically become pirates and prey on the other nation's ships just to hurt them. And this was legalized. They were legalized to attack other nations that were your enemy. And that's essentially what Putin's attitude is. They can attack America all they want, and he will cover for them. And so it is a semi-state-sponsored attack, and so the only way to punish them would be to punish Russia or Putin, and that's very difficult. So it's not clear what they can do. The only practical procedure to actually do anything about Russian hackers that I've heard of is to increase the production of American oil by permitting more fracking or something. That would hurt the Russian economy. Other than that, I don't think we have much in the way of any leverage. Isn't this hack stepping over the line? That's right. That's right. It's like the WannaCry hack, and that's why the people that put it out actually made an apology and said, oh, we didn't want to get into politics and get governments mad at us. And now the entire U.S. government is really mad at them. So maybe they will find something to do. I don't know what Biden said about it today. I know he passed an executive order a couple days ago talking about improving cybersecurity, the usual stuff, telling people to watch their supply chains and establish a new government agency to promote cybersecurity and such. I'm not sure what he said today. It is a huge issue, though. So apparently they paid the ransom. This is plausible, although I do not trust this source. And by the way, FireEye has published a lot of information about how this ransomware works. They've had, 10 or 20 victims a month. And it's a ransomware as a service. They rent the software out to other people who then attack people with it. You have an affiliate program where they keep a portion of the proceeds and you keep a portion of the proceeds. They run the website to collect the money for you. They describe the attack life cycle, how they get in and how they elevate privileges and maintain presence with TeamViewer and so on. So, a lot of information about how this threat actor operates here. And the way you protect a company from these is disrupt that chain somewhere. And here's a tech audit. This guy is an interesting case from the cybersecurity world. This guy was paid to do a security audit of Colonial Pipeline in 2018, and now he has apparently violated his non-disclosure agreement and dumped out the secrets about the security problems at Colonial Pipeline. Now, this is exactly why you sign a non-disclosure agreement. When you have somebody do a pen test or a security audit of your company, that's private information. You don't want the world knowing that. That's like going to the doctor and having the doctor publish what diseases you have. They're required to keep quiet about that for privacy. So this guy that leaked this to a journalist, I would think is likely Robert E. Smallwood. Boy, I would think he's going to get sued and lose his CISSP and have his consulting firm have a bad reputation and so on. I mean, this is the number one thing you promise when you do security audits, is to keep your mouth shut. Anyway, but he leaked all these secrets, and he said, just like every other industry, they have a bunch of problems, they didn't fix them fast enough and so on, which is what you hear all the time. And although they defend themselves saying they have made improvements, probably both are true. Anyway, so we're up to the last class here, and I don't have new lectures on the topic here. I said I would just talk about Velociraptor, and that is my plan. So in fact, I'm going to stop this one and make another recording for that.